Hi everybody, here's Krystian from TeamworkCast.
And this is Putty from TeamworkCast.
And this is Netrunner TeamworkCast. This is the second round from a original Netrunner draft we did back in July. And on the left we have PeterPan playing as the corporation this time around. On the right we have Luis playing as the runner this time around.
Ooh.
And I done goofed up because at the end of the last video I said like next turn we're gonna see a player who played original Netrunner. And we will, but I skipped this game.
You could have just made the last video we recorded the third video.
No, because I already said this was the first game from the second round, so this is the second game from the second round.
Oh gosh, you're just damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I done goofed up. I apologize.
It's okay. Well, I'll forgive you.
Anyways, so this is gonna be interesting. So in the first round we saw Luis being like very aggressive early on and paying the iron price.
Yeah.
And this time around, let's see how he will fare as a runner. I guess again I'm expecting being like in your face, or in PeterPan's face. I'm also expecting PeterPan to be like, whoa.
And everybody's taking time out to read cards.
Yeah, that's what's happened when you're playing with new cards. It was really interesting experience because you realize how much of being good at Netrunner is about just knowing the cards in and out, and not having to spend mental energy figuring out what they do in the first place.
Yeah.
You have create like those mental shortcuts. Oh, this is this card, this is this card. You know exactly what's going on here.
Yeah.
But once you are confronted with completely new cards, you have to. It's like learning to walk all over again.
Well, there's also like the identities give you kind of a shortcut, right? Like, oh, well, he's playing NBN. It's probably going to be this fast advanced stuff, or maybe it'll be trace stuff. And then in this game, you're just like, I am the corporation. I am the runner, and the possibility could be anything.
Yeah, that's true. Although that's kind of also the case in draft, in the Android Netrunner draft.
Oh, yeah.
Which is going to be changing maybe with the new identities that we're going to bring out. Anyways, we're going to start the game here.
Whoa, buddy.
Fumbling on the HQ axis, R&D eyes and HQ eyes, but no rest on the run on HQ. And Luis has the broker out, which is basically Cathy Jones.
But not unique.
But not unique. You can have multiple Cathy Joneses in this game. What?
Actually, it's Katie.
No, it's Cathy. They said it's Cathy.
I know they did.
Also, I have a friend who was called Cathy, and this is very fun.
It came up at Worlds, and every time it came up, I just sort of cried.
So we have the brokers or Cathy Jones being clicked here, and now Luis plays rigged investments, 12 credits of drip economy,
nice. 1
credit per turn.
Nice.
So very slow drip economy going on here, but it's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. We don't have that as runner. We don't have too many cards that give you 1 credit per turn. Yeah. Maybe something like. Underworld Context or something, but they have to be like triggered and blah blah blah. And this one is like it runs out eventually, but 12 rounds. I mean, by this time the game is over.
Maybe.
This is going to be credit consolidation as a restructure basically. We saw it in every game so far. I think very popular.
Well, you guys said that you didn't have very many economy cards, so.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny that we haven't seen any hedge fund or sure gamble equivalents, but we saw restructure so many times already.
So you guys didn't use any of the vital cards, did you? Did you have a bunch of sets of the vitals?
Oh, we did. We actually realized, we started drafting the original cards, we realized very quickly that nobody's actually drafted the breaker because there's apparently almost no breakers in the booster that we opened. So we actually had to make like a specific breaker draft where we had like some cards that we did like from previous packs that we opened. And we created boosters that were consisted only of breakers, and we drafted them.
Yeah,
and then we did the same with agendas as well.
The draft rules that I saw, they're like everybody needs to come with a starter so that they have all of the same vital cards. This way, everybody kind of has the same draft possibilities, and everyone just got a set of the vitals so they could actually make a deck.
All right, so there's a second rigged investments here and a hidden resource, and. PeterPan is installs a card behind in a subsidiary fort and advance it twice.
Subsidiary,
sorry.
No.
And there's a run on HQ. No res. Run R&D. I like how PeterPan is like completely reinventing the wheel every time there is a run. Whoa, there's a run? What did I install here? What is this?
Let me read these cards I read last turn.
It's like he's been quantum leaped every turn. Oh, this is interesting. So, Luis explained this because he actually asked our original Netrunner draft expert if this original Netrunner expert about this. So apparently he used this R&D model that we saw in a previous game as well, which is basically multi-access on R&D. That is a hidden resource. And the interesting thing is that you can use it during access.
That's awesome.
So you saw some cards, and you're like, I want to see some more, and then you can res it or activate it and see even more cards. So meanwhile, PeterPan scores out the Security Net optimization, which is a 5-3 agenda, and he chooses as 4, which he marks with his counter up back there, and that 4, every ice has +1 strength.
Yeah. I'm sad it's not a proof of purchase.
Not everybody's as cool as I am, Nick. All right, another run on R&D. Why? Okay, he may realizes that this wasn't a good idea and runs on HQ instead.
PeterPan, I appreciate your consistency.
Oh, that's funny. He has to read this up. This is Dr. Draft, which was in quite a lot of packs that we opened, and nobody knows how to play this card.
So what Dr. Draft says is, you may choose an ice card stored in HQ. Pay half of that card's res cost rounded down to force the runner to encounter it. So basically, it's Archangel.
It's an upgrade. So I would say it's more like Awakening Center.
Oh, we can see, yeah.
But you don't have to host the ice on the cards, but you can just pick them from HQ. So basically, when the run is over, then you go like, nope, here's the card from my HQ. You have to encounter this as well now. But then you trash the card afterwards.
I just like that, you're holding, let's say you're holding a Wotan in your hand, and you're like, hey, buddy, I'm going to pay such and such to make you encounter Wotan.
Yeah. Funny that you mentioned this, Nick. Funny that you mentioned this. Funny that you mentioned. It's almost as if you were there, Nick.
Oh.
It's teaser.
What spoiler?
Teaser and spoiler. No, it's not, if it's a teaser, it's not a spoiler, right?
I don't know.
And another run on HQ. I like how aggressive Luis runs on HQ now. I like how PeterPan is just like no resing. And this is Galatea. We saw it previously already. It's a code gate. Wall that can be turned into a code gate. It's a cost 6, strength 4. Talking about those expensive reses.
That is, beefy.
It's just one end run. Last click this turn is drawing card. PeterPan draws mandatory. Nick is in rabbit hole again.
No, I'm looking at this. I'm just watching him play.
Okay. Because you're so concentrated.
No, I'm just watching him. I'm also listening to the sad dog downstairs howl his lonely, sad howls.
Somebody's washing the dishes in the background, though.
Are they?
Yeah, and I hear audio from the video. So.
Oh, that was a motorcycle going through.
All right, so an ice on HQ has been replaced. PeterPan hasn't been resing this ice here, so I'm thinking like this was doing nothing, so he had to replace this. Luis still has not a single breaker out. This is really so great. He really want PeterPan to res things, and PeterPan is kind of reluctant, but finally there is a res here. This is going to be a gatekeeper. It's a cost 3, strength 4, code gate.
I like that it has one subroutine for every 2 you pay above the res cost when you res it.
Yeah, so if you just res it for 3, it doesn't have any subroutines. You have to pay 5 in order for this to have a subroutine.
I like that it's some sort of weird version of Atman on the corporate side.
It is kind of, right? But it's a very expensive Atman, and at this point, PeterPan can only afford one subroutine, so it's basically a CodeGate strength 4 1-to-1 subroutine that costs 5 to res. Very expensive, I would say. Yeah. But it ends the run, because Luis has no breakers whatsoever. He has this hidden resource, though.
Yeah.
And this drip economy is still ticking for him. That's really cool. Rigged investments.
It's funny to me to see these guys playing this game with the Android Netrunner tokens.
Yeah, and the mats and everything.
Yeah, because, I mean, when people would play this, there wasn't any mats. They would just all be using dice or, like, Mancala stones.
Yeah, it's the world has changed so much. And also, like, all these characters, all this, like, colorful art, and previously it was, like, this dark, cyberpunk, just broody, like, grungy 90s.
This is the world, that existed when the Matrix came out.
Oh my God.
Everything was green and black.
Look at this, Nick. We're going to see actually the first card here. Actually, I haven't wrote down which card this is.
Oh.
But it is Wizards or something. Wizards. Something Wizard. It's a CodeGate breaker. Oh, he takes it actually back. Huh? Because he wanted to run on something and that wasn't CodeGate. That was he installed a CodeGate breaker, but Galatea is not a CodeGate, so he took it back.
You said it was Wizard something?
Yeah. It's one of the core sets.
It's the Wizard's book.
Yeah, Wizard's book.
It is a icebreaker. It's 1 MU. Costs 0 to break a CodeGate subroutine, and it can be pumped up for 2. 0 to break. That's nuts.
Yeah. All right, a third card being installed in a server. Man, that's a crazy server. So many upgrades in there. Maybe we're going to see some score at some point. I don't know. All right, so this is interesting. So this is going to be Mantis Fixer at Large. It's a 3-cost tutor for everything, Nick.
That's awesome.
That's a card that we need.
It just stays out for forever, right?
No. It's just a. It's not a resource, although it's a person on it.
Oh, that's what threw me off. Okay.
It's a confusing thing. But yeah, it's kind of amazing. We kind of need that card in Netrunner.
Get the card you want.
It's just get whatever, like get the console perhaps or something, I mean, we have, I guess, Logos, but Logos is a console already, so it's like.
I like that there's flavor text on the Wizard's book that comes from Ars Magica, which is the will dominates all.
Yeah, there's some really nice reference everywhere built in, like in Android Netrunner. So yeah, there's a bit of kerfuffle going on which breaker he gets, because he also gets the second CodeGate breaker, and then he finally finds his barrier breaker. That is going to be a dwarf, 6-cost, strength 3 wall breaker, breaks for 1, pumps for 1,
and it's not noisy.
It's not noisy. So that's what you get when you want a not noisy breaker. It costs 6 to install for a CodeGate breaker, wall breaker.
Oh man! So I've looked down a couple. There's something amazing that's about to happen.
All right. So this is Dr. Draft that we had previously. So now we can and now here we go, Nick.
Yeah, the Lich.
So the Lich is being now shown with Dr. Draft, so it's now cheaper, like half the res cost, because it's 14 to res.
Yeah.
So now it's just 7.
And so the Lich is amazing because he does 3 brain damage.
3 brain damage subroutines and 1 Enduran subroutine. And he's strength 6 sentry.
So many BDs.
Dr. Draft doing some good job here.
Boom.
I also like that Luis also had like Swiss bank accounts that did triggered at the same time, so he got 3 credits from 1 each. So these were the hidden resources that he had there. So again, like those monetary cards that you can get if you think, I think I'm going to need money, you can get those out.
So I was very tinny back then, and when I was playing the original Netrunner. Because all of us were pretty timmy back then, because, a lot of us had not seen all of the cards. So I was like, look at my Lich.
Yeah.
I got this Lich, it's 14. It has 6 strength, it's a sentry. I can do so much brain damage.
It's the best card. When you have this rest, nobody can get through.
No one wants to get through because of all the brain damage.
It's basically nothing changed ever since then, right? So it's still a Wotan fan.
This is why my affinity for Wotan. This is a harkening back to my childhood self.
All right, so Luis gets out the Baedeker's net map, so traces work differently. We're not going to explain everything, but basically, before a link card is installed, like Baedeker's net map, you actually cannot participate in traces as a runner.
Yeah.
Now, Luis is basically equivalent of a one link runner that can actually increase trace strength. Before he couldn't even increase trace strength. He was link 0, no trace strength.
So is the Baedeker, is that a reference to the German guy, or is it a reference to something in Cyberpunk?
I don't know, man. Clickety-clacky.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, there's a run on Dr. Draft's server. Gets through the Galatea. No Dr. Draft things, and after this Lich encounter, Luis trashes Dr. Draft. Sorry about that. There's Olivia Salazar in here, which you can res an ice for half of the cost and de-res it after when the run is over. So again, one of those cards that give you like an advantage for one specific run. And an agenda finally in here, which is Detroit Police Contract, which we had previously is basically an economy agenda for one.
So it is the reference to the German publisher. Baedeker, because it's talking about travel. So the Karl Baedekers, I don't know if that's how you say it. It's a German publisher. They pioneered travel guides.
So it's really weird that, we talked about it before, but about templates, agenda templates.
Yeah.
A 4-1 agenda?
4-1 agenda is kind of crazy, and especially since all it does is really just give you money.
It's amazing this game has a 4-1 agenda and a 4-3 agenda.
Yeah.
It's like both on the opposite sides of crazy.
Yeah.
But in different directions.
Oh, Detroit. In the 90s, back when a new Detroit was a thing.
I like the artwork on Detroit Police Contract.
It's the one with the, like, sort of tank police car.
Yeah,
right?
with like a futuristic tank police car. I really like this. It seems like to me, it's very reminiscent of games like Syndicate.
Yeah.
And to me, Syndicate is like the cyberpunk game ever.
Well, what's sort of funny is, what is it, the people that made... Oh, God, now I can't remember. They're making a video game out of the Cyberpunk 2020 universe.
Oh, yeah, the ones that made Witcher, right?
Yeah.
CD Projekt or something.
So I'm hoping we'll get to see a lot of these. Oh, man,
look at this glary card. It was drawn for a day, I think. It wasn't drawn. It was Night Shift. Sorry about that. Drawn for a day is something that Luis played. So that's interesting. You gain 9 credits. So cost 4, you get 9, so you get 5, but you also get a tag.
Yeah.
Which I guess now we have like accounts which does a similar effect. But I like this idea of giving you tags with an economy effect. So if you have cheap way of removing tags, then you can make money out of this. I really think that's something that we really need an Android Netrunner to have some, I would say, criminal economy cards that can capitalize on removing tags.
I'd also like to see a couple cards in the corporate side that can take advantage of when the runner tags themselves.
Yeah.
Like you have a resource or something like that you can hang out there.
Well, we have a lot of those coming in with Data and Destiny.
That's true.
There's some very exciting things that are happening there, like agendas that are being scored, so even if the runner accesses them.
That's true. I guess that is sort of, it's starting to make its little head.
All right. Oh my God, this is the second breaker now. Skeleton passkeys. He got it out with a Temple Microde outlet, which is a special order for all programs. And then there's the skeleton passkeys being installed, which gets into the code gates, which is this one thing that is installed there. And he sees nothing important there, though. Meanwhile, the server, the Galatea, has been pumped up with additional ice, and there's something installed in there.
PeterPan throwing up the "Come at me, bro" flag.
I'm kind of amazed that we actually managed to get through this drip economy. Because it's 12 credits and 1 credit per turn, so it's 12 turns.
12 rounds isn't that much of a big deal in this game because so many rounds in this game are going to be drawing a card or getting credits because there's just not enough economy to go around.
Oh, Nick, this is exciting. He plays a data broker, which is a data dealer.
Yeah.
But this is also one interesting thing that is different about this game. In this game, you could sell individual agenda points. Data dealer sells an entire agenda, but in this game you track agendas independently, agenda points independently of the agendas.
Yeah.
So you could sell an specific agenda point, but he runs there, steals an agenda, and then PeterPan kills him with a Trojan horse. Cost 2, play only if the runner stole agendas during his or last turn. Give the runner attack, period. No trace, nothing. It's just tag. You stole an agenda, bam, tag.
And then Urban Renewal, which is totally not Scorched Earth.
It's interesting. Urban Renewal, this costs 6, does 5 meat damage.
Nuts.
But the funny thing is that there is also Scorched Earth in this game.
Yeah.
But the artwork depicted on Urban Renewal is more reminiscent of the Scorched Earth in Android Netrunner.
I know. It's
so
also,
during the transition, some weird mix-up happened during the transition from original Netrunner to Android Netrunner.
I also like that this is a reference to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and other types of things, where it just says the paperwork has been clearly posted in the basement closet of City Hall since last Thursday.
Wow, nice pull there. Like it. All right, so guys, so that's how Scourge worked. That's how Tagging Back worked back in the original Netrunner. A weird sudden ending for this game. So we're gonna move over now to the finale of this little draft tournament, where finally, as we already predicted and sadly misannounced previously, now we're gonna actually have a matchup of PeterPan against Frizzler. Frizzler has been playing the original Netrunner and has been joined the draft to be kind of like a mentor figure to explain to us, all the intricacies of original Netrunner. There's not too many of them, but sometimes there's like little details that are kind of important. And we're going to see how he, as somebody who played this game previously, with more experience with this, what's his take on all of these cards that we saw here.
Yeah, I want to see if like our old strategy stayed the same, because I mean, you made a server that was just impossible to get through, but you had to do it because ice were so, I don't know what you would want to call it, permeable?
Yeah.
You could get through ice and no problem.
I don't know. Let's see about that. Let's see in the next episode what happens. I hope you will join us next time when we will hack the planet! Hack the planet! Hack the planet!
Shut up and get in the car! Shit on me.
By Scorched Earthing its Urban Renewal.
It has been posted in the basement, clearly! Clearly.
Chop, chop.
This episode of Netrunner TeamworkCast was created with a generous support from our listeners. If you enjoyed the show and you can't get enough Netrunner videos, please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/hacktheplanet.